What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Disney Cars review. Today we are reviewing Chock cables suggested to me by Miguel Totally Not Boring channel. In the last review, I mentioned that he suggested another character, another pretty interesting and unusual character that gets suggested really, and that's Chock cables. So here he is. Again, thank you, Miguel, for suggesting this amazing character. And without further ado, let's get right into the review of this amazing character. So right off the bat, this guy is a cameraman for the RSN Racing Sports Network series. So anyways, from looking at him, he's basically a minivan. You get the headset right here, which I really like. There's not much about him. You can see he has like a happy expression, I would say, of some sort. You got basic headlights with some very bright yellow indicators. That's very interesting. Solid metal rear view mirrors, which is very nice. Basic decent silver rims. You got some black trim on the fenders, some wood trim. You got some black outline around the windows. He even has a black outline around his head. Not his head, his eyelids, my bad. He has some sort of roof rack right here. On the back, it seems like the taillights are a lot more detailed than the headlights, which is very interesting. His plate, we can get a close-up shot on that. There we go, which reads ST929, and above it, it reads ring cap, which is an auto part. I don't quite know what a ring cap is, but I do know it's a part of the car. It's like a mechanical part. You got the exhaust down there. You got some very interesting tires. He has gray tires, but you know, it kind of stands out against the black trim on him. Looks very nice. But overall, he's basically a basic blue minivan. Very bold color for a minivan, I would say. Not that many people would be driving this kind of minivan if it was this color. I certainly wouldn't. But anyways, the headset's not removable. It's not removable. You can't take it off him. It's embedded into the diecast. There's some parts that you can move, like this loose earpiece right here. This part of the headset. But overall, like, I wouldn't recommend doing this because you'll break it off and then he won't look as good. But anyways, we got the base down here, reading Mattel, and some coatings made in China. This is a re-release model of him. I would say 2014, I would say, maybe 2014, 2015, something like that. He was released the same year as Nelson Blindspot, I believe that's his name. That was a new reporter released that year, and he was a re-release. And I actually picked this guy up in stores. I was actually lucky enough to find this guy in the stores. Nelson Blindspot, he was a big peg warmer. He's one of the biggest peg warmers in the Cars universe that have been released, I believe, by Mattel. I just don't know who I'm talking about. I'm talking about this guy. I believe that's his name, Nelson Blindspot. He was a new character released in the series. I believe the series was RSN. And he was just a big peg warmer, I would just say that. He was a ginormous peg warmer. Anyone who was hunting during that time period would know that he was a giant peg warmer, especially in my area. Whenever I went hunting, there was like at least 5 of him on the pegs. But anyways, now we're going to move on to comparisons, and the only model that I can see that's very similar, basically the same thing, is Van. Very mostly the same model. The only difference is the grill down there, and some of the model, like, overall they're not exactly the same, but at the same time they're the same. The only difference is the hood, because if you look at the design of the rear, that's pretty similar, isn't it? I would say so. The rear looks very similar. His looks a little more wider. But they're basically the same. And he does have the same exact roof rack of what Chock Cables has, but this is what his roof rack would look like without the luggage compartment on top. And I believe the bases are extremely similar. Yes, they are. Look at that. Extremely similar bases. But yeah, not much to Chock Cables. He's basically just a plain minivan with a headset. I would say personally, he's probably not that rare of a character. He has been released before this. I believe he was released in the Final Lap series. I know he was definitely released before his other re-release, which was back in 2014, I believe. I will correct myself on that if it's incorrect, but I believe it was 2014. But yeah. Anyways, thank you, Miguel, for suggesting this amazing character. If you guys have any characters you would like to suggest, leave them down in the comments below. And yeah, that's basically this video. If you guys are interested in following me elsewhere besides YouTube, click the links in the description. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.